Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's Cooper here, one half of FCSN, and it's that time of the week to break down this weekend's best games in college football. And finally, it's been a couple of down weeks. I mean, there's been some good games here and there, but finally we have a big time weekend, and I love it. I love college football weekends like this. We got big games all day long. Just sit in front of the TV, tailgate, go to a game, just watch games all day long, and it's some big time matchups all over the place. With that said, though, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, this is such a trap game. I'm going to pick the Georgia Dogs, but it's going to be a tough one for them. They got Todd Gurley coming back next week, and next week they are at home against Auburn. That is a big-time game. They're coming off a terrible loss to Florida in that rivalry game. Maybe a little bit energy drained, a little bit down, and they're going on the road to Kentucky, 12 o'clock game. Such a trap. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost it, but I'm going to pick them because I have confidence in this team. And I think they're the better team. I think they make just enough plays to barely pull this one out, but it's going to be ugly. This is not going to be a pretty game. They're just good enough to survive, I think. Kentucky's a very much improved team. I think they gave Stoops an extension. And I think they're going to give Georgia a run for their money. But I think Georgia barely pulls this one out and they'll go into the game versus Auburn next week with a chance to maybe pull that upset. Who knows? Move on to the next one. Then we got Baylor and Oklahoma. This is another big-time Big 12 game. The Big 12 has been much improved this year. This is another two teams that have been near the top this season. Oklahoma and Baylor. I've got Oklahoma. People are counting Oklahoma out now, saying, oh, they have 2 losses. Like, forget about Oklahoma. They're not that good. They're a good team. They slipped up twice. They missed that field goal versus Kansas State. Don't knock Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's be able to pull this one off. I think they get a big-time win and not getting back into the playoff contention, but get people's eyes back on the program. And realize, hey, this is still a very good football team, a very competitive football team in the Big 12. I think they pull, not an upset, but it's a little bit upset. I think they beat Baylor. Next up, big-time Big 10 matchup. This means everything. I mean, everything for these two teams. Michigan State, Ohio State. If one team, the loser of this team, their playoff hopes are done. For Ohio State, if they beat Michigan State, they're still kind of outside looking in. Michigan State with a chance to get in the top 4 if they beat Ohio State, I think. But there's a lot on the line in this game. I think Michigan State's defense is too good. I think they're going to give JT Barrett problems. He's been improving. But Ohio State really hasn't played anybody in their one loss to Virginia Tech, who has not been good. I think Ohio State's been getting better, but I don't think it's enough. I think this Michigan State team is going to be way too much for them. I think Michigan State pulls this one out. Next up, we get an SEC West matchup versus a struggling Texas A&M team without Kenny Hill taking on Auburn. I just don't see any way Texas A&M is able to win this game. I think Auburn's offense goes all over them. I think they're going to not shut them out, but shut that offense down, minimize their scoring. I think it's going to be like a 49-17 type of game. I think Auburn is going to win that one pretty handily. Moving on, a lot of people saying this is a trap game. I've talked to some Oregon fans, and they're concerned about Utah. Utah's coming off a tough loss, and Utah's not a bad team. People are saying, oh, there's Stanford last year. They're here to ruin Oregon's season. Like teams, the Stanford teams have done in past years. I don't see it. I think Oregon's hot right now. I think Mariota wants that Heisman, and I think his offense is just on fire. I don't see them slowing down in this game. It's at Utah, but I think Oregon's able to pull this one out. Next up, this is an interesting one. LSU, Alabama, night game in Death Valley. You never know what could happen in Death Valley. Last time they played there, Ole Miss lost. I think Alabama's a little bit more offensively talented than Ole Miss is. I don't think LSU's going to be able to keep up. Even if they make some stops, I don't think they'll be able to put up the points when that Alabama defense is necessary. I think Alabama has too much firepower. I think Amari Cooper makes some plays in the game. I think Alabama's able to pull this one out. Not very pretty, but I think it'll be enough, and they'll win this game at LSU. Next up, means a lot for the college football playoff. People are sleeping on Arizona State. They kind of crept their way in here. Their one loss was awful, but besides that, they've been very impressive. Notre Dame, one loss to Florida State. Besides that, they've been great. And this Notre Dame team is in need of a signature win, and this is their chance to do it. I think they do it in this game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring, maybe like 42-35, something like that. Notre Dame, though, I think they'll pull this one out. Everett Golson makes the plays necessary for Notre Dame to win the football game. Then moving up, this is pretty much an elimination game. Similar to how Ole Miss and Auburn was last week. This is an elimination game for the Big 12. Maybe the Big 12's only shot at getting a playoff contender. So TCU, I think they're going to win the game. They had a little bit of a down week offensively versus West Virginia. We're still able to pull that one out, and that's what good teams do. Kansas State, not a bad team by any means. They played well versus Auburn, beat Oklahoma. I just think TCU's offense to get back on the right track, put up a ton of points. Not a ton of points, but enough points to win the game. And I think they win it by maybe 10 points. That's all I got for you guys this week, though. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and what games you'll be watching this weekend. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts below. Follow me on Twitter at CooperFCS and subscribe if you have not already. And this is Cooper signing out.